Yuta Okotsu has been a fan favorite character for many years now, including myself. He was the first main character of Jujutsu Kaisen. Technically, he is stated to be second to only Gojo in the modern era. He's one of the coolest characters, undoubtedly, within the entire series. But things are not looking good for him anymore. And if you're watching this video, I assume you read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, and if you don't, and you don't want to get spoiled, I recommend clicking off this video. But let's talk about the fate that Yuta is about to meet. So if you read the latest chapter, you would know that at the very end of the chapter, Yuta jumps in to fight Sukuna. He is meant to be the saving grace, the last hope the sorcerers have against Sukuna, but the chances of him being able to actually beat Sukuna are very, very low. And by the looks of it, it seems like Yuta is not going to make it out of this one alive. In the latest chapter, on the very last page, there was an editor comment that said, "The king versus the queen of curses, the one who takes the throne will be determined here." And it seems like majority of the fight will probably revolve around Rika versus Sukuna. So if Rika goes, chances are Yuta goes. And there is already a very, very big problem with that. A few years back, Gege Akutami, author of Jujutsu Kaisen, participated in an interview. And in the interview, he was asked, who is stronger, Awakened Rika or Sukuna from the Golden Age? And Akutami just responds with Sukuna. Who are they going up against? They're going up against Heian era Sukuna, who now has more knowledge and more experience and is undoubtedly more powerful. And Heian era Sukuna was literally said by Akutami to be able to beat Rika in a fight. Now, it's true that this interview was definitely a while ago, so Akutami might have changed some stuff up, or he might have just completely changed his mind entirely. I mean, after all, he said Gojo is the power pinnacle of the entire verse, only to have Sukuna beat Gojo. So, obviously, Akutami's mind could have changed after so long. But let's talk about another thing that Akutami said a while back that really does not look good for Yuta as well. Talking about Sukuna, he says, "It's just a hunch, but I have a feeling he's going to eat an important character to death someday." Very gruesome stuff. We're like, oh, who could this character be? Like, who could die in such a cruel way? And in the same chapter, Sukuna literally says that Yuta is going to be his main dish in a way. He thinks Yuta is going to be a good meal for him. And from the interview that we got a few days ago regarding the next upcoming Jujutsu Kaisen chapters, it was revealed by Gege Akutami's editor that crazy things will happen in these upcoming chapters. So, what if those crazy things are just Yuta getting eaten by Sukuna? Now, is all hope lost for Yuta? Definitely not. First things first, Yuta is a perfect character to counteract Sukuna's ideology. Sukuna always goes on about how love is worthless, how love means nothing at all. Meanwhile, Yuta's entire character revolves around love. So I don't think these two characters with such opposite ideologies are going to have like a very quick and short fight. Now, I know that's not really like a huge case for Yuta, but this is the main case here. Yuta's biggest win con is his domain expansion. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be confused and be like, oh, how could Yuta beat Sukuna in a domain clash? Well, he doesn't need to beat Sukuna. It was already stated that Sukuna can no longer use his domain expansion due to his fight with Gojo. He is still too worn out, too exhausted to be able to access his domain. Meanwhile, Yuta can use his own domain expansion, and we know that Yuta possesses a domain because he almost used it in a three-way domain clash during the Culling games. So, realistically, he has a pretty good shot if he manages to somehow pull off his domain, and it also depends what his domain ability is. Now, another good win con that Yuta has going for him is the fact that he probably had Rika eat Kenjaku after decapitating Kenjaku's head. And that would probably mean that Yuta has gained some of Kenjaku's abilities to use. Think about it like this. Why would Yuta decapitate Kenjaku's head and just leave the body lying around when he can literally gain Kenjaku's abilities for himself? So chances are Kenjaku has been eaten, and Yuta now has Kenjaku's abilities to use. And you guys also have to remember that Sukuna is getting jumped by the entire cast. Yes, he's definitely way more powerful, but he's gonna sort of have his hands full just a little bit. So there is still hope that Yuta has some chance of survival, but we just need to remember the fact that Sukuna has not tried at all since Gojo, maybe even since Kashimo. He's literally been playing around with his opponents. Higuruma, a character with so much potential, a character that was seen as very powerful, got completely toyed with Sukuna. Sukuna was literally telling this guy to heal in order for him to have more fun playing around with him. We've seen what Sukuna does when he actually like sort of tries in a fight or wants to finish a fight quickly. Just look at Kashimo, bro. Look at what happened to Kashimo. This guy Sukuna saw what Kashimo was capable of and just didn't want to partake in the fight any longer. So he just decided to send out a wall of dismantles right towards Kashimo and ended the fight off completely. So you have to think about what's stopping Sukuna from just doing that again to the entire cast. It seems like he's just trying to have fun at this point, and honestly, that's not hard to believe considering that last chapter he was literally bummed out over Higuruma dying. Like, this guy is bored. He wants like a good fight. So that's why he might just not finish this off right away. But when he gets bored, I believe he's going to be very capable of doing so. I really hope that Yuta proves me wrong here, because who doesn't love Yuta? But also, it's Sukuna. Sukuna has wiped out the strongest characters so far within the verse with minimal effort besides Gojo. And even with Gojo's fight, the only reason he had such a hard time was because of Gojo's insane broken hacks abilities like Infinity. No other character is hacked out like that in Jujutsu Kaisen. So what other character would like stand any sort of chance right now against Sukuna? Yuta is definitely not going to be capable of beating Sukuna in a one-on-one fight, and he will definitely be extremely lucky if he survives. And even then, the chances are very, very low. But let me know what you guys think. You guys think Yuta will outperform everyone and will go absolutely insane against Sukuna? Or do you guys think that Yuta is just going to get completely no-diffed like the rest of the cast and Sukuna is just going to have a field day with him? But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys on the next one.